Hey guys, Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, man, this literally does not work. We had some rainstorms from hell, and so since we have to put an electric line in the ground, we're going to hold off until tomorrow on that one, but I'm going to do some work here at the shop. Got a great project that I'm still working on for Don and Sandra. We got to build a countertop out of cherry. So I've got some nice thick 5/4 cherry that we're going to put together and stain and varnish. Now, because this thing is so big, how big is it? Well, my thickness sander sand's 25 inches wide. This thing is actually going to be about 31 inches wide. So, and it's also got an offset. So it's got a 6-foot section, and then as it gets out, it's got like 10 inches that is 6 inches with curves on it. I'm going to go ahead and laminate these three pieces together. Give me the 22 or whatever, and then put the other 8-inch or 10-inch piece on afterwards. So that way I'll sand both of them to the thickness they need to be, and then we'll go ahead and glue those together, and then do a final sanding. But this is some big ass cherry. How's everybody doing today on this Monday? Sitting here with NFL AM on, which I think is about to go off, thank God. And I'm trying to understand something here. Am I actually being seen? Because I only see, is the signal okay? I'm not seeing any comments or anything yet. Anybody's there? Let me know if the signal's okay or if I need to move this. Usually I have it a different spot, but this should be close to the Wi-Fi router, so it shouldn't be too far off. Problem you have when you have these real big ass pieces like this is not easy to work with. And when you're working with something this big, you got to make sure that your seams are dead on, straight, because the strength of the wood on this thing is really, really powerful. I don't care what kind of glue you have. If you've got a bow in the wood and you try and laminate it together, eventually it's going to come apart. And what you also have to allow for is something this big is going to expand and contract. So you have to allow for real movement. I guess in a way, that's one of the reasons why it's great to have particle board with basically paper veneer on top of it, because it won't expand and contract, because it's not like a living and breathing piece of wood like this is. And you can see, when you look down the line here, you can see how tight and how straight the cuts are. I went ahead and put them on the joiner, which is basically a hand planer, but power fed, that actually got them straight. So to have it that close without even putting any clamping pressure is a good thing. Got to make sure I eliminate this sucker, that it's flat as possible, because if it's not, when we go to put it through the thickness sand, then it's more sanding we have to do, and thinner than it'll end up being. See how you see that glue pop up right there? That's perfect. Okay. A couple more clamps on this sucker. Look at that. That's only 2 clamps, but you don't see any space in there. That's what you want to see. It's amazing how much they hate our Cowboys, yet here's what's funny is the whole day has been about the Cowboys and the Eagles. Now tell me that's not pretty. Victor, what's going on, Victor? Victor, you're not at work, man? We're making a big ass countertop. This is actually an 1.25 inch. I think, you know what? I think it's going to be next week. I think they're going to get this thing done just before. Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, backup quarterback. Who? Who? If you're any good as a backup, you're a starting quarterback. And that's the reality. So, what you want to do is keep your quarterback upright, keep him clean by having a great offensive line, say a prayer, and that's all you can do, because there aren't any. Why don't I respond? You know what, Victor? Here's what's funny about Cold P. He can talk, you know what? He hate us because he ain't us, okay? He wants what I have. He wants me to talk about. He wants me to stink to his level. Why? Why would I even... I've got nothing to gain from that jackass. Seriously. There's nothing for me to gain. He wants to go in the gutter. He wants to look like a freaking idiot. That's cool. That's his game. Go right ahead. But that's not what this channel is about. We're about, listen, I love the debate. I hate the hate. That's the flat out thing. If the Giants actually had a team that was worth talking about, he'd be talking about their team. But their team stinks. So does this channel. So why do I need to respond to that? Because, see, I'm up here. He's down there, Victor. Understand that, son. There we go. Put it on a shirt mark. I love the debate and I hate the hate. That's me. What's happening, baby? Am I on YouTube? Yeah. Something wrong? You need? Huh? Yeah, I'm on YouTube. But hold up, guys. Hold up. So wait, what happened? You went down? Zeke is in his prime. Zeke wants to get paid. Zeke is making some mistakes away from the game that he needs to atone for if he carries. I just look at Murray, Zeke. Are you telling me Randall Cobb's not going to have 60 catches for Dak this year? Because I think he's going. I think it's Dallas, and I'm going to include the supporting cast, the monsters they have on defense. Dallas is loaded. I mean, this is the year. This is the year. Your thoughts on the NFC East and who takes the crown? I know they do it. Hashtag GVP. We appreciate all your tweets. We help drive the show, so get to it. Now, a non-quarterback hasn't won the league MVP since Adrian Peterson. Well, if you think about the nuclear power plant that was in Japan, which is still nuclear radiation, all that stuff was just come to the West Coast. And if you think about the Japanese actually had balloons that were bombed that they let go in Japan that actually landed in the United States. So if you get trying to carry a balloon all the way across the Pacific Ocean, if you're carrying radiation, will no longer have cancer? I'm back, guys. My wife just shared a little article and stuff with me and stuff. What? My wife wanted to share an article with me, so I'm back. So anyway, back to our Cowboys. What I don't understand is this. With some of these so-called Dallas Cowboy fans, I have this guy on Facebook who literally has made it a career in hating Dak Prescott. He comes up with more memes and stuff. You know, I think today he had David Chappelle where he's the crackhead, you know, with the stocking cap and everything else. And I'm kind of like, how is it that you claim to be a Dallas Cowboy fan and you're always ragging on our quarterback? I just don't get that. To me, that makes no sense whatsoever. That if you're, you know, I understand that you can have doubts and you want to debate and say, hey, maybe this isn't the guy. But to just go through and then always laugh out loud, it's like, are you sure you are a Dallas Cowboy fan? Because you don't seem like it to me. That's my take on it. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just where it just doesn't seem right. Or maybe the guy isn't. What's happening, Joel? I appreciate that. Oh, man, I tell you what. If our front seven... Think about the Giants' front seven when they were winning Super Bowls. The back end wasn't that good. Did I enjoy the rain? I don't mind the rain at all. I mean, you know, I actually like being out in the rain and stuff, especially when it's hot and everything else. It kind of cools everything off. I don't like floods too much, and we've had way too much. But if our front seven, well, actually, if our defensive line can do what I'm hoping they'll do, it's going to make our linebackers that much more effective. Hey, wait. Hold on. Des. Victor, why are you up here trying to start shit today? It's never been hate on Des Bryant. It's never been hate on Tony Romo. It's reality. Understand that players only have a window of so long. You only have so many hits, so many runs in your body, so many tackles where your body starts to fail you. And players aren't a fine wine. They get better with time. Excuse me. They just get old. And that's unfortunately the problem with Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant in 2014 had a great season, and if he had made that catch, no catch, maybe we would have been in the Super Bowl, and it would have been fantastic. But look at the time after he got that contract, how many games he played, how many times he was effective, how many times he was still the elite athlete he was. He was no longer that. He is a shell of himself. Doesn't mean he wasn't a great player when he was great, but Jerry Rice is no longer Jerry Rice anymore. He was a great player, but he got old. The original 88, Drew Pearson, he was great, but he got old. And that's what happens. And we in our mind don't realize that players get old. And when they do, and they start breaking down, they start costing more and more money. You got to understand, it's a young man's game. So it wasn't about, hey, I hate Dez. No, I have never said I hated Dez Bryant. I stood up for Dez Bryant when all of these people are coming up with stupid crap. Dez Bryant, the police were called to his house 6 times. And I'm like, examine it a little bit more, okay? Examine those things, because on the surface, the way you presented it, it sounds like crap. When Mike Farello came out and said, there may be a video out there that's 10 times worse than Ray Rice, I said, hold on. Show me the tape. Show me your evidence. And then you had Adam Schefter going out there, I'm putting a whole lot of time into investigating this. You know what? I put a whole lot of time in investigating a lot of stuff too, but it doesn't mean that it's real just because I'm looking into it. And so when you say, I hate Dez, I do not, that is so far away from the truth. It's not even funny. So get your facts straight there, Victor. Don't come in here. When you come in here correct. You didn't already come in here and ask me, why haven't I responded to Cold P? I don't give a rat's ass about that fool. Now you're coming in here saying, you hate Dez. No, man, get your shit together if you're going to come into the man cave, into the shop. Make sure you have your stuff right. I'm trying to see the comments here. Terry, you hit the nail on the head about a lot of people that comment on us. Yeah. What's up, James? A lot of people don't know. I mean, we're all fans. But to get down to the meat and bones of understanding football, you got to, it's a full-time. Hey, listen, I played football, high school, college, and everything else. I study the game and everything else. But literally, you're only scratching the surface. Even these talking heads that you have on TV that have played the game still have a lot to learn. Oh, there's Ed Oliver. I got to say one thing. Since you brought up Cold P, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. Like I said, I love the debate. I love to have a discussion, and I don't mind, the Eagle fans that come in here and say, well, Carson Wentz, he's a better quarterback because of this, that, and the other, and the Cowboys stink, like Philly 500. I got no problem with having a debate because I love to debate people about their team, and I love to stand up about my Cowboys. I love that 100%. But when you act like an idiot, stop chirping, James Wilson. I thought I said hello. Aren't you from Canada? You say tell James. 1 minute you say tell those haters, bro, and then the next minute you say stop chirping and show some love, people. Oh, I thought you meant me. I'm trying to understand here. I was like, I was. But the thing I can at least say about Ed and Philly 500 and stuff is, they'll debate without having to be ugly. When you throw a temper tantrum, you just look ignorant. That's all I'm saying. They just look, I mean, come on. It's like, really? Really? I mean, that's like a poor man's EDP. And I mean a poor man's. But hey, what do I know? I'm in here doing some work as opposed to being out making babies. Because you're in a Cowboys fan chat, laugh out loud. But, like I said, I will debate somebody. I got no problem with debating somebody. But, I'm not here to be a trash talk channel that, we're just going to scream and be, what WWE, brother? We're going to come in here. We're going to talk a whole lot of trash. You're ugly and everything else and blah, blah, blah. That's not me. It's not me. Hang on for 1 second. My daughter is not feeling well. Sorry, I had to send a message to my daughter. She's not feeling well. I'm all up for trash talking, but only if you can take. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I'm a bet. Like I said, I'm too old to be an idiot. I'm sorry. That's just, you want to go do that, go right ahead. That's just not me. So, anyway, Michael is actually, well, we didn't, what's going on, L4? We were going to be going down because I was working for Michael today to do the electrical work and stuff, but because it was raining so much, you can't really bury the cable in soaking rain. That's not a good idea. Electric and water just don't mix. So I'm working on this, and Michael does some deliveries for Postmates as well, because he's working on saving up to buy that house. So I'm proud of him for working hard, trying to get everything and make everything he can. That's all you can want for a parent, is to have kids that are working hard to try and realize their dreams. So I need to move this out of the way, see if I can. This is where it'd be nice to have Michael Anthony Fitness, because this shit is heavy. But I need to go Home Depot and get some plumbing fittings so I can get my sink hooked up outside. Safety and quarterback and kicker not talking to these dummies about making stupid comments. Well, kicking, that's special teams is really the only place that we really have not addressed. And as far as the backup quarterback, the reality is if that goes down, as most teams, the season is lost. I mean, let's be honest. There's not exactly a lot of great backup quarterbacks. Nick Foles was a great backup quarterback, but as you can see, he's now a starting quarterback. So I ask you right now, veterans out there that are decent, that you can say, oh, well, we can rest our team on that. Yeah. I mean, we had the Brandon Wheatons, we had the Matt Castles, and those guys didn't bust a grape, so not feeling it. But the interesting thing in watching NFL AM, I talked about it in a video earlier, is they're talking about how they trust Carson Wentz more, and I'm just trying to understand that one. How can you say you trust Carson Wentz more and that the ceiling is higher for Carson Wentz? I think the ceiling for Carson Wentz has already been hit. You looked at 2017 where he was MVP season. Do we think he's going to have now 10 more touchdown passes than he did that year? Do we think he's going to be able to throw for an additional 2,000 yards? I mean, you looked at that season, he had the best offensive line. He had a great running attack. They were third in the NFL in running the football. He had great wide receivers. He had literally everything right there. So if he had all of that stuff and couldn't stay upright, how is it to trust him more? Now, I know Dak Prescott, he doesn't have the pedigree and the number one draft pick like Carson Wentz did. But I'm sitting here thinking, he hasn't had the same amount of tools that Carson Wentz had. Now, we'll see this year with Dak having some better tools and hopefully the offensive line being back to where it was. Oh, you know what, Prince, here's my thing. Now, we've only seen 1 year of Pat Mahomes. I think he's going to come back down to earth a whole bunch. Everybody already has him as the Hall of Famer and things. And how many times have we seen, these guys go through, have a great season, and all of a sudden come back down, sophomore slump, so to speak. And everybody is also on the bandwagon for the Rams. I'm going to tell you, Rams are going to be the most disappointing team this year. And Eric, I tell you what, when they talk about saying that Carson Wentz, you trust him more, then how come he's only beat the Cowboys once? Why is that? Explain that one to me, Eagle fan. If Carson Wentz, you trust him more, he's head and shoulders better than Dak Prescott. How come he's not getting the wins? That's what I want to know. If he is all that in a ham sandwich. Phew. There we go. That's a big ass piece. That sucker is heavy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Look at that. So that's gonna go through my thickness sander and sand all this out. Let me get that off of there. There we go. That's gonna be nice when we set it out there. See, I've got more messages. People. Oh, dear Cole Pizzle, we super chat to support. Whoa. Thank you, LG. L4. If you weren't a Giants fan and would stop crying, maybe. Oh. You know what? I'm going to tell you, Victor, this is what's funny. People who don't want to put in the work are usually the ones that are jealous. So many people want to have the easy route to success, be it their job, be it YouTube, be it their marriage. But what you got to understand is this. When I started YouTube, and I started 2012, and I had more success with Facebook than YouTube, because when I would go post a video on YouTube and then put it on Facebook, I'd get, 10, 20,000 views, which is great. But I'd only see 100 views on YouTube, finding out that the algorithms, Facebook doesn't share to YouTube and so on. And people said to me, you're too old for YouTube. You don't even know how to use a computer. You're ugly. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not credible. It's okay. What I do every day is I work. I bust my ass. I try and get better. I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking about my regular job, and I'm thinking about this. People are jealous. Oh, you got such a great house. Man, my house was shit when we bought it. Everything that's been fixed in this house, I fixed it. I put in the time. I put in the effort. You guys saw me, 7 or 5 o'clock working out on laying tile for my countertop. Not sitting around just kicking back and saying, oh, that guy's got this and that guy. No, fuck that. If you want something, if you want to succeed, it's not, don't look at anybody else. You need to look right here in the mirror. And you have to get up off your ass. Instead of spending so much time hating with somebody else or being jealous of somebody else, go out there. Learn how to do what you want to do. Come up with a plan and work your ass off. If you do that and it doesn't succeed, well, then maybe you can be jealous. But if you're not willing to put in the work, the commitment, the time, and the effort, then don't say shit to me. Don't. Because I work my ass off on everything. At being a husband, at being a father, at being, owning my own business, on YouTube. Everything I do, I put forth full effort. I don't half-step it. It doesn't mean I succeed all the time, because I don't. Believe me, I have more failures than I do have success. But I ain't looking around saying, well, damn, he's got a whole lot more subscribers than me. Fuck him. No. You're the one to blame for that. Not me. You're the one to blame for it. If you figure out what people want, then maybe they'll watch. That's if you figure out what people need as far as work wise, then you'll succeed. If you learn how to make a cherry countertop that people want, they'll come knocking on your door. Don't sit here and be pissed off because somebody else is succeeding and you're not. Then you need to do better. I'm sick and tired of people that expect that everything's supposed to be handed to them. It's supposed to be easy. This shit ain't easy. This shit ain't easy. Nothing's easy. But I tell you what, when you succeed and you worked and you earned it, that shit is sweet. That shit is sweet. I ain't gonna lie to you. And so, if you looked at what I did 15 years ago, cabinet making wise, compared to now, oh, damn. It's still lasting, but it isn't as pretty as what I can do now. And the only way all that came was time and hard work. So never, ever forget about that. Eric, sweet like the Cowboys. That's right. And you know what? All these people, I'm telling you, I may be completely wrong, and it wouldn't be the first time I'm completely wrong. But I see so many parallels with the Dallas Cowboys right now that I've seen in the past. You know, everybody keeps talking about, like, you know, NFL AM, they're saying, well, you know, the Cowboys, you know, you can't really trust the Cowboys. You know, they haven't been to that NFC Championship game and had success like the Rams did, you know, or that experience. But Rams didn't have the experience when they went to the Super Bowl. The Rams, what is it? You know, and now you're talking about the Bears. And you're telling me that Mitch Trubisky's got the experience? And the Bears had the experience to go all the way to the Super Bowl, so they're a favorite. But you look at the Cowboys who, you know, have built something, not just a one-year wonder, because the Bears, didn't nobody think about the Bears this time last year? Did nobody say, oh, the Bears are going to be a great team? And anybody who said that the Rams were going to be in the Super Bowl last year is a damn liar, because everybody was talking about the Eagles. Oh, the Eagles, they're going to be on top for years to come. Best team in football, great coaching staff and stuff. But, you know, every year it's a new flavor. So right now, it's always so funny to me because, you know, knowing what we know half the teams that make the playoffs every year on average won't make it the next year. Yet you look at the football polls, all of them are the teams that were good last year with the exception of the Cowboys, because ESPN, of course, put the Cowboys at 18. We'll go ahead and say, oh, and, of course, Green Bay. Every year they always say Green Bay is always going to be good. And it seems like Green Bay over the last 3 years have been shit. So you hear, of course, the Eagles, great built team, no holes and everything. They're great. Rams, great team. But it's like, wait a minute, let's back up on the Rams. Did you see Jared Goff? Because we're not talking about Jared Goff dropping off the face of the earth like Dak did in 2017. Remember that? We're not talking about Todd Gurley, who may not be the bellwether back anymore. But they're still saying, we think the Rams are a Super Bowl team. Why? Because they were there last year. But have you looked at the teams that went to the Super Bowl the year before? Where are the Atlanta Falcons 2 years after going to the Super Bowl? Carolina Panthers? Even the Eagles, after they won theirs, they went from 13-3 to 9-7. So why do you think that the Rams are going to break that? It wasn't like the Rams ended up, you know, with a lot of momentum. You got to look at that and say that was kind of a demoralizing loss. So I think the Rams are going to be that disappointing team. And if Carson Wentz gets hurt, for my paint. I'm going to go paint the molding downstairs in the bathroom. I would go outside and paint around my cabinet and stuff and do my grouting, but it's kind of wet out there right now, so I don't want that to run out. But hold on, I'll be right back. Good. I got some black grout. It is still good, so I don't have to open up the other bag. Perfect. Okay. Black grout. Yeah, so let the grout float over here. Well, I'm gonna have to make a run to the stove. All right, so, yeah, I used to be, but now I've lost a little weight. Something you can kind of see some of the muscles that have been buried underneath the fat. What's happening, Maui? How are you doing? I hate making other people rich. Well, you know what, Victor? Listen. Wait. Here's what you got to do, okay? What you do is you learn from them because you got to have skills. You make contacts. You got to go ahead and learn. And then you got to start making your own plan of what you're going to do with the skills that you learn. It takes time. I'm 53 years old. I didn't start out having my own business. I actually managed restaurants and delis. And then I was a building engineer. Then I got sick and almost died. And that's how I got forced into doing what I'm doing now, which is, thank God, this is what I'm doing now because this is what I love. So understand it takes time, and you know that's the generation is now right now looks at everything and it's like right now you want everything right now, but it takes time to build something, and usually things that are built really really fast usually fall really fast as well. Yeah, that Giants a punk. Okay, no, you know what? See, you gotta understand. The Giants are crying out for help. Can you imagine being a Giant fan right now? Seriously. They've been top 5 in the draft the last 2 years. You've got Eli Manning, who, you know, he doesn't want to go anywhere. He's past his day. They let go of Odell Beckham Jr. Their offensive line has been crap for years. You know, you're not relevant. It's a cry for help. Feel sorry for him. Not. But hey, you know, who am I to judge? We've been there before too. Not quite this long, but we've been there before. So it is what it is. Wait. What? That's not my weight. What? I need to clear out all these old cans of paint because I got so many that I don't know what's what and who's who anymore. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and make a run to home. Oh, some of you guys have asked about my countertop. Let me go out here and check it out. See if it's too wet for me to grout this thing or not. I made some other changes last night on it. It's all about them boys. Well, ain't no yard working today because it's raining out. All right, so here's what I've been doing. Yeah, it's still raining. This is I haven't actually hooked up the sink or anything yet because, um, but I'm getting ready to work on the doors to go on here, um, and I've got to grout this before I put the cabinet on. But here's what I did over here. I actually brought out, this is my 2-burner warmer, so I can have a couple of pots of chili and stuff on here. Got my regular grill. Then I'm going to get a griddle to go here. Got my smoker and my deep fryer. So this is my outdoor kitchen, and I'm going to move this over a little bit. So that's what it looks like. So, it's getting there. Damn, you said you're going to leave, now you're staying. Well, I wanted to come out here because I've got to get back up underneath here. I got to extend some of the pipes and stuff. And get all the stuff cleared up and get the doors and things made. It's always a lot of work to do, but I enjoy doing it. And see, here's what's cool. See, now, when I'm cooking, that's my view when I'm cooking here on the grill, which is kind of cool. I've got the fish pond down there, I got the trees, so I truly feel like I'm in the outdoors. And of course, safety first, just in case. I got a fire alarm here, fire extinguisher here and a fire extinguisher there, so I don't burn down the house. And if you need some basil, look at that. Look at all that. Isn't that beautiful? Fresh basil. Some nice thyme. I can throw this stuff on my steak, And I actually have some tomatoes that are almost ripe already. So we're trying to live. Look at that. Look at all my cherry tomatoes coming along. First tomato there, looks like a bug's eating on it. So we're trying to be one with with nature as much as possible. And we'll keep pounding at it. Now, if the rain would just stop. But yeah, again, this deck, the deck itself was rotted out when we bought the house. And we had to replace all the deck boards and everything else in here. This room in here had green carpet. Green, I'm talking green like a street light green. So, read the carpet. I ended up building a surround around the fireplace and put the TV up in there. The kitchen cabinets. I built all of these kitchen cabinets. And now check this out. That table, I built this table. It's actually solid hickory. This thing is heavy as shit. And I built this thing 16 years ago. 16 years. Get something like that from IKEA. I dare you. Michael is actually out delivering for Postmates at the moment. And I'm going to go make a run to Home Depot because I need to get some more glue and some plumbing fittings in case it stops raining so I can go out here and grab this stuff and get it done. And need to go to the dump because I got a whole bunch of trash on the truck. So guys, girls, everybody, thank you all for tuning in. L4G, thank you for the super chat. And I guess I'll see you guys a little later.